Here we go. Welcome to the 6th episode of the Guru of Gainz Parlay. Today we have some special guests. I actually sent out an invite to all 4 of you, thinking that some of you wouldn't want to come on. But you're all gracious enough to all show up, so thanks for coming on. Today we have...
I've been waiting for my invite since episode 1.
I thought so. So yeah, today we have Mikey Rankin, Wesley Verhoeff, Jaime Goodwin and Amanda Bunn. Thanks for coming. All former CrossFit NZ members.
And formerly obese.
Formerly obese. And you can see pictures of Mike on his... Mike and Dan on his Facebook. What is it? So we'll start with used to Wes and Mikey. I know you guys got a new coach this year. You got Aaron Davis. And tell us a little bit why you got Aaron Davis as your coach and how that's been going, you guys.
You go ahead. You go first, Wes.
Okay, so Mikey was first. I was originally trying to get Max Ehang, if you've watched Barbara Show.
Yeah.
So I was originally going with, trying to go with OPT and there, and he was in between quitting OPT and kind of going out on his own. Wanted someone that was gonna program a lot more specific stuff for me. Needed to work on my engine, so Mikey had then been started with Aaron for a month, and I'd been playing around doing some of his workouts then, and really liked it. We were doing the massive 40-minute interval-based stuff, so I knew he was pretty good then, and so once Max kind of was messing me around a little bit, I jumped on with Aaron, and
I was on kind of like the same sort of boat with Wes. I didn't have any sort of structure with my programming. I just kind of went into the gym and did exactly what I felt like doing, and that necessarily didn't target what I was weak at. So my programming generally favored what I was good at. So I got good at all the things that I was awesome at, and then created some big weaknesses. So I was actually watching. I was following Aaron for a while. Once I found out Muds. Muds. Everyone knows Muds. Was after Muds was being programmed by Aaron, and I was following his blog that he had, and I was really impressed with his work and the way he approached programming. So I kind of got in contact with him and told him that I was looking to get a coach, and I'm sort of pressed for time, so I don't really have time to sort of get into the gym and think about what I want to do. I want to have a good indication of, have my plan set out, so when I get to the gym, all I do is warm up and do it and then go home, just to optimize my time.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting a coach. I was thinking about it too, but the only thing is say if he's got all the stuff programming for me and then I feel like crap or something, how do you guys deal with that?
Just communicate with him. Yeah. He's pretty responsive. If I'm feeling crap, the time difference is a little bit, because he's actually from Austin, Texas, so the time difference is a bit of an issue. But if you let him know in advance that you're feeling like crap, and he has his certain ways of tracking our recovery and that sort of. He uses what's that?
Heart rate variability.
Yeah, so he tracks our heart rate variability, so he has a pretty good indication of how we're feeling. Yeah, and it's pretty accurate. Every now and again, you feel pretty crap, so you just flick him an email, and he's really responsive, and
he's pretty conscious of that entirely. He's always pretty good to see, and he's pretty aware. The heart rate variability stuff can tell him how we've been doing. So if he's noticed that we've been smashed for a while, he's always checking in how you feel.
What would that be? Would your heart rate be?
So it's your variability. So it's a specific monitor that you wear. So if you're nice and fresh, you can adjust your heart rate on the fly really easily, really quickly. But whereas when you're fried, your heart rate kind of just stays the same. It has very little variability to it. So
wouldn't it be generally higher as well?
Heart rate will be a little bit higher when you
generally feel a bit more.
Resting heart rate can be a little bit higher. Yeah. But I was finding some things would affect my heart rate differently. So the endurance stuff would bring my heart rate down. The heavy metcons, anaerobic would shoot it up, and it didn't necessarily they're not kind of the same thing. Just resting heart rate and heart rate variability. So he can tell pretty quickly like when we smashed, and then if we need any adjustments, I mean, we're lucky enough that we can scale and change things around a little bit on the fly as well. So it hasn't been too much of an issue if we've had some niggle, or have just had a real bad day. Or something.
Have you got the gains, and would you recommend it, sort of thing? The gains that he's wanted, or you'll sort of find out this weekend?
Yeah, it works. It works for some
If
people.
he's going to get the sack or not.
It all depends on your situation. Like, I'd love to have that same sort of situation that the boys in NorCal have, where they just turn up in the middle of the day and they have a 3-hour block to have a bro session. I find that, for me personally, is way more beneficial, but I just don't have the time to do that and drive out to my mates who own boxes and have afternoon naps and that sort of stuff.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Who sleeps in the day? That's disgusting.
So it's from a practicality point of view, it is really good, but I totally recommend just having big as bro sessions where the intensity is super high. I think that's
bit of peer pressure is always good.
Yeah, that's sort of like the best recipe for improvement, in my opinion. Yeah. But I find with my situation, is the best as I can do, I think.
Yeah. Jaime, you've been coaching at CrossFit Mount Eden in West Auckland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you nap during the day now that you coach full time?
Sure do. I don't really nap, so I kind of like get up, coach, and then just go back to bed. So it's not a nap, it's like a sleep.
Yeah.
It's a difference. If it's over 40 minutes, it's a sleep.
Yeah. And are you doing the getting coaching from was a program for someone as well, or doing?
I am. They're actually sitting right here. These two.
Oh, okay.
People.
Right. So
Coaching program for me. Yeah.
I can hold this for you, so you...
Do you actually do what they say, or?
Yeah. I try to, but it's the same thing as like these guys just said. Like if I'm feeling crap, then I'll just pop that in the little document that we've got and say, look, didn't feel that good, or I only worked to that weight, or whatever. And
say if you don't do better than you want, like, are they going to get the axe, or are you going to?
Yeah. No way.
You've been known as like a bit of a giant slayer, so you're obviously known as one of the smaller athletes, but you've you've done really well in comps, being some of the bigger athletes in that. Do you reckon that's going to be a limiting factor, or you can sort of overcome it? Like,
I think it's probably the opposite almost. It's like it's not that I feel like I have something to prove, but I kind of feed off it.
Yeah.
Like when someone says, "Oh, you did really good. You're so small." I'm kind of like, yeah. I don't really care that I'm small. I just want to, get out there and do what I do.
Yeah.
Doesn't really hold me back. It kind of fires me up more.
Yeah. And you're a gymnast background, eh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So is that like an advantage, you reckon? Like,
well, any sport's an advantage.
You saw those muscles today?
what other sports in that did you play growing up?
I did running, athletics, track running, country running.
And orange.
So like run around forests to the map.
Yeah. Do you get like other small people come up to you and like say you're an inspiration and stuff like that?
Not really.
Huh?
Not really.
Not really?
Not that I've really noticed.
Yeah.
Not at that level yet.
Yeah.
Nah, I just...
I
tell myself, man, you're an inspiration.
Every morning, Mikey? It's on the
I listen to positive affirmations like every day, and it tells me...
Anthony Robbins.
Yeah, Anthony Robbins. What's the other? Tony? No, it's Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yeah.
Who's Anthony
Tony's
Robbins?
for short.
Oh, okay.
Tell you, man. Amanda, you've been like through all sorts of stuff. I don't really know where to start. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us where you grew up and your background. I know you played tennis.
I played.
How you came to where you are now.
So I played tennis for years. I think I picked up a racket when I was, 10 or 11.
Is that forced? Was it one of those
No, pre that I played netball, and I played netball to a pretty high level, and then I had the choice of playing for Auckland or playing tennis. So I chose tennis and went down the tennis track. And
how far did you go in tennis?
I was applying to scholarships for the States, but dislocated my shoulder out, so put that off. And that's how I found CrossFit, actually. My little sister was training with both Tamron and Darren down at Unisports, and I kind of tagged along with her when I was a bit bored with a bit of rehab and kind of stuff, and followed them. And it was around the time when they were moving to open up CrossFit NZ, and I kind of followed and just got into it from there. And they both left to go overseas and put me in the deep end, and that's how I started coaching.
I remember we did the same level 1 cert years ago. We did it. Remember? Well, how long ago was that?
Yeah, years. So that was over in Aussie, Sydney. 09, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And Muds was there, and someone else maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I remember I was telling you I'm going to come over and open a box one day. Did you think I was crazy or what?
No, I don't know. It was also new back then. It was all
Right.
just this big thing, big wide world. I think that nobody really knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
And
so that's
it was like
2009.
Yeah.
Dreams do come true, yeah. It took me a while. It was like 3 years.
When I first
Yeah, well,
started-
look at me, man.
When I first started
2013.
CrossFit, I thought it wouldn't take off. I'm like, this is cool. Let's just go and work out.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could compete in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first started, if they prescribed like 21:15:9, I'd be like, I'm not doing 21:15:9. I'm just gonna do my own version because I'm just working out. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like not opening my hips on anything.
Yeah.
And not getting my head through.
Nah, I was still legit standard, but I just didn't do the reps.
And you're a physio, is that?
Yeah,
Physio.
I qualified in 09 as well, I think. End of 09.
Yeah.
And worked for a couple of years, and then I've always wanted to do medicine, so I'm now back at med school,
Yeah.
training up.
And I know you have a little bit of a heart problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I actually caught a virus working as a physio. One of those things. Shit happens.
Yeah.
And it just got messed around a little bit and lasted for about 4 years.
Yeah.
So I've just cleared that. End of last year, fully cleared. So.
And I know you've just come out of like a surgery from a car accident.
Yep.
And you were like probably one of the top, 10, 20 chicks in New Zealand or whatever?
Oh, I don't know.
Before?
I don't ever think I really got a chance to compete. It's always
Yeah.
been my dream. So
Yeah.
we'll give it a good crack. And I've got a good coach behind me. So
Yeah. Do you think like, people are like, oh, they've forgotten about you? Do you think like, man, like,
Oh, I know
don't
what I
count
can
me
do.
out. Don't count me out yet or what?
yeah, I know what I can do.
There's
So.
still some
It's still there.
unturned stones.
It's definitely still there. Still
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
lot of goals to tick off for that one.
Still working. on it.
You're training with Amanda, and you're like, what the hell? She's not supposed to be able to do that.
Don't do rowing workouts with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
I rode a 5K with her, and I think she finished like 10, 15 seconds behind me, and I was like, what? Something wrong with her rower.
Yeah, no.
She's a legit athlete.
So we'll get back into it, definitely.
Who's your coach?
I'm actually coached by James Fitzgerald, so OPT.
OPT. He's straight from CrossFit, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Moved
you're
away a
following
little
that.
bit. Yeah. He's a great guy. Really got to know him quite well,
Yeah.
and I just really enjoy, I guess, probably his scientific mind behind things. I mean, I'm doing medicine, so
Yeah.
I've kind of got that mindset, and it's quite nice to, like these guys have already said, it's quite nice to just wake up, have a program, and do it.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was obviously doing my own, and it just gets tiring. There's just so many
Yeah.
other things that need to happen. So it was
Yeah.
always nice to have someone else to do it for you, and he's great. I mean, he's always there to communicate with, and I mean, in the very short time that I've been with him, I made some pretty good big gains. So
Yeah.
pretty happy.
Speaking about gains, I know, Mikey, you've experimented with putting on some weight. And tell us why you did that and what was the outcome.
Oh, I just wanted to try something different. When I first started CrossFit, it was all about eating paleo and cutting your carbs and all of this stuff. And as I sort of learned more about how my body worked and how I sort of reacted to different foods and that sort of stuff, I thought, hey, I'm gonna try and eat shitload of carbs and see what happens.
Yeah.
And apparently you just get fat. So I started with just after the Schwartz game, so around November I started eating a lot of carbohydrate. I was up to about 400 grams of carbs a day, and if you don't know how many carbs that is a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
And over 2 months I put on 5 kilos and probably 1 kilo of lean body mass and 4 kilos of fat. My power cleans got better, my squatting got better.
What did Tawila say?
But she loved it. So the strength stuff got really good, and obviously the body weight stuff got really good. But I just felt, I sort of really just felt tired all the time and heavy all the time. My recovery was awesome, but at the end of it, I'm happy I did it because it's sort of I've done trial and error, and yeah.
You guys sponsored by the Brave, you and Jaime. Is that right?
Yep.
How is that like? Is there like pressure being a sponsored athlete, like to perform, or am I just creating that by saying it?
I don't really see it as pressure or anything. I speak for myself, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like just like a support system.
I'm just being jealous.
It's just like a support system. Like they help you out if you need help with anything in particular. You just flick them a message and let them know, and they'll help you out. Both Nick and Peter are really helpful in that respect, and they're always keen to help you out anyway. Not just even if it's not just CrossFit focused or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's more of a support structure than anything else.
Right.
Yeah, and you get to wear an awesome brand and represent a pretty deep brand, which is pretty good.
Is it like a brotherhood, sisterhood sort of thing? Do you just have like special handshakes and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, we can't show you. Obviously.
Yeah.
We're not in the clique. How has it been for you, Jaime? Getting in that stuff?
Nah, I think there's not really pressure just because we know them, so it's not like a huge company where you're sort of dealing with like an email, or you don't feel like you're just kind of another number. You actually know Pete and Nick quite well, so you feel like you can chat to them.
Feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not like if I mean I've been injured recently, and Nick flicked me a message and was like, from our end of things, if you aren't doing the open or if things aren't going well, like don't feel any like pressure from us to do anything that you kind of can't. And so I think, and they're really conscious of that as well. Like they don't want to make us feel like we're doing it for them, because we're doing it for ourselves, and they just want to help us get where we want to go, which is really cool.
So you don't have to force anything?
No, not at all. Yeah,
if you're not feeling that well?
Yeah, it's good.
Did you ever think like you'd be like sponsored and like all that sort of stuff that you could possibly make a living from? Because they're starting off big money in the Aussie and that, eh?
Yeah.
For comps and that?
I guess so, but it's like you never really think about earning money doing CrossFit. Well, I don't. I kind of enjoy it. It's something that I like to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of, bit cliche, but I don't really feel like I should be earning money from it, because it's my hobby, it's my passion. If I do earn money from it, it's awesome, but I don't have money on my mind.
Yeah.
So it's more I didn't rip that off anyone.
And you guys you're opening up ETM CrossFit? Yep. How'd you come across that name? What does it stand for?
It stands for Excellence Through Movement.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. If you know anything about trying to get your name through the process of getting an affiliate, and CrossFit have to approve it. So I guess our original ideas and around it was, I guess, having a brand that would stand on its own if CrossFit was to ever go the way of aerobics in the 90s or whatever. So, we wanted something, that could stand on its own. So not a Auckland or a, New Zealand or something else. So from there we went through the process of, okay, what are some of the things that we'd like in the name? And we went through quite a few that they didn't like, heaps that they didn't like. So probably about 20 names before we got to Excellence Through Movement. And in the end, I probably wouldn't change it. Going through the process, I'd still now stick with Excellence Through Movement if I knew all the others. I think it fits us really well, so we wanted something that encapsulates the two of us. Obviously have a bit more movement, mobility minded focus.
You just got to have like a little bit of a slant in that sort of direction.
It's our little point of difference, I guess.
How are you looking to basically structure that in your programming?
50 downward dogs. That's going to be the baseline work. That's the baseline to get in.
Downward dogs, you reckon?
Yeah, 50 downward dogs per time. To do it like sub 5.
Right.
And then boom, you're ETM athlete.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty full on.
Yeah, so I mean we're prioritising I guess some of our budget towards going and running mobility classes. So probably more mobility classes than any other CrossFit would be running, and also we want to screen all athletes coming in. Yeah. So they go through a mobility screening process. We check them out, see what's going on, and then give them some individualised programming in and around their mobility and so forth, and continually check in with them and see how it's going, and just have a bit more of a focus that way.
Yeah. I know you deal with patients all day. Like I saw a physio this morning because my back's been tight, like he gave me some stuff to do and I didn't do it. Now, how do you deal with people like that? That just like, and then they just come and.
Majority of people.
Majority of people like that. How,
What do you
how
do?
much did he give you to do?
Oh no, I did part of it. Just one thing I didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like special formulas and numbers about how much people can handle and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's about actually getting people to buy in. So
Yeah.
it's teaching them why they need to do what you're providing them.
Yeah.
And then you get a much greater adherence.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's lost in a lot of physio, is it's just a set of exercises handed out and you don't really know why that's benefiting you.
Yeah.
So I think if you have the ability to teach someone how that's going to help them, then most people generally want to be better or make themselves better or not hurt or whatever. So whichever way you slant it, I think that's how you get people to adhere.
How do you, like, you know, because we all sit down and all that, and everyone gets like tight hip flexors and stuff like that. Is that sort of a big thing towards people getting back injury, do you reckon? Yeah?
Yeah.
What can people do that work, like at a desk job or sit at a car all day and drive around? What can they do? Sort of?
Don't sit.
Don't sit. Number one,
That's their desk job, you know, that's what they have to
make
do.
a standing desk.
Make a standing desk?
Yeah.
I've got a standing desk at work.
Yeah?
So I'm in the process of getting a
Mike's
standing
making
desk
one.
as well. So
Can you require, like, can you ask for that?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I hope no one from my company watches this, but I just got my auntie who was a doctor to say that I had like a bulging spine, like bulging disc in my back, and I needed a stand-up desk.
Right.
So then it's like
To
a
make it
medical
happen.
requirement. Boom.
Yeah.
Stand-up desk. It's taken them like 2 months, but I'm getting one.
Can they say no, like, if you
They
request
can.
one?
Yeah, they can in this country, of course.
What else can people do if they...
But the easiest thing is getting up from your desk. Like every 20 minutes, get up and stretch your hip flexors for 2 minutes aside.
2 minutes aside.
Sitting is just as bad for you as smoking.
Yeah.
Just
So,
as
like,
bad as smoking.
Just
Yeah.
as bad.
Quote right there. For reals?
Yeah, it's
Just
like
as bad.
health perspective.
It's science.
Not even that it's making
proven.
your hip flexors tighter or anything else.
Yeah.
Smoking and sitting, same deal. It's going to take the same amount of time off your life.
Yeah. Can we put like some links in the show
Yeah, sure.
description, like
Yeah.
a few stretches that people can do if they have a desk job or like drive around all day as a courier or something like that?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good, eh?
Yep.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah. So we've got the Open coming up. How's the prep going? How's the prep? We're feeling good. You guys have all had your special programming. You guys feeling pretty good?
I don't think anyone feels like the open. The open hurts.
Yeah.
Great.
The open is always just a test of pure capacity. The movements are always basic. The weights are always light, and and the workouts are always in that time domain that you have to push hard if you want to get a good score. And there's no reason for you to put down the weight because the weight's so light. And it just hurts you metabolically.
It's just a fight between who can stay in the
Yeah.
dark place the longest.
It's so hard, like mentally. I feel so drained at the end of the 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Even last year, I went to regionals last year, and it was mentally just easy. Just 3 days and it's finished. But that 5 week process of having to pick yourself up every Friday to go as hard as you can on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So you're
tough.
gonna hit it once a week.
Yeah, I always hit it once. A lot of people generally hit it 2 or 3 times, but
So you're gonna hit it once? You go twice or once?
We'll see. We'll play it by ear.
Twice.
I was for me personally, like my first attempt is always the good attempt because if I do it again, I know how bad it hurts,
And you don't wanna go
I
for
don't
it.
want to go for it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So
I did one twice last year and slept terribly the night before the second time I did it.
Yeah.
Got halfway through it and was like, nah, tap out, I'm not doing it.
Stuff this.
Yeah, stuff this. It's not good.
some guys, I know some amazing athletes who will do it once and get a terrible score, do it the next day and get like an okay score, and then do it a third time on the third day and they get an amazing score. And in the process of doing those, they've done like something like 1,000 reps of one movement over 3 days. I don't know how they do it. Just amazing athletes.
I did the pull-up one, thruster one, 3 times. And I didn't make it through every time.
Oh, that's okay because that's like 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that many
Yeah,
reps.
it's not
Yeah. That was heartbreaking, truly. Jamie, how are we feeling for the Open?
Well, no one wants to sit here and say they're feeling really good because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
are you going to
it's
make
like,
regionals?
Ask my
Yeah,
coaches.
yeah, Jamie.
I hope so.
Are you gonna make regionals?
I have had an injury,
Yeah.
which
Where?
is
Whereabouts?
my popliteus.
Popliteus.
Yeah. Do you know where that is?
Next to your scapulitis,
My biceps.
my necroralis.
It's like a little muscle in behind your leg,
Ah, yeah.
and it's pretty much come from having tight hips. Yep.
Yeah, I got that. My back's been tight, so.
Yeah. So it's just
Oh,
been
hips.
the last couple of months haven't been ideal, but I mean, these guys have had me on the rower and the airdyne a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my fitness is
Pretty good.
all right.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not I can handle the weight. So
Yeah.
hopefully they don't throw any spanners in the works and make it heavy this year or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I know we all have like setbacks and ups and downs in training and that. Like I'll probably start with you, man, because you've had the most. How do we?
She's
how
had
do we-
every injury known
Yeah.
to any CrossFit.
How do we deal with it? Like, what are some positives? Because I know all our members come in and they have ups and downs as well. What would you sort of say is some advice on how to deal with it? Because, you know, like everyone's like, stay positive, but no matter what you try to do, it's hard
Yeah,
to.
I think
you
staying
know, like-
positive's hard. That's
yeah,
a
but
very
what can we
hard
do
thing
to stay
say.
positive?
I think, well, for me, it's having smaller goals and
Yeah.
kind of knowing that you can still achieve certain things and just working around that, I guess. I guess everyone's different though. There's certain people that don't deal with it as well, and that's just their mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of, especially in CrossFit gyms for different clients, the idea of still being able to come in and be part of the community
Yeah.
and part of the class. And that's kind of a big focus we're trying to work on for our gym, is making sure if you are injured, you're not just left kind of by yourself
Right.
to do something by yourself, really still involving them in the community. I think that's a big thing.
Are you just going to have two coaches on all the time? Or?
Depends on the size.
Yeah. Because I find sometimes, like, we need two, but like you haven't got two scheduled on or whatever, and it's just.
Yeah, and it's always difficult.
It's like you said, because you don't want people being left.
Yeah, definitely. And it's,
side.
I think it's having that discussion with people as well and getting them to trust you that you are able to help them through it.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of people get injured and freak out and don't think they can train.
Yeah.
Not many people really know that they can keep training through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Just, avoiding the injured area or whatever. Depends on what it is.
Doing something else.
But yeah, you can always keep moving.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still on the bike. Been on the bike from day 2 of this operation, so
Yeah.
it's always good to
Day
keep
2?
moving. Yes.
So if you get injured, you get on the bike 2 days afterwards.
Yeah.
No excuses, eh?
And I like pulled like a muscle in my forearm, and I was like, I gotta rest. I'm taking 2 days off.
Yeah.
I've got rhabdo.
It's a funny, sort of not funny story. This lady came in, she had a trial, and she didn't come back, but I followed up and was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, oh, I had rhabdo. And so I wrote her this letter saying, you didn't get rhabdo, you probably just had DOMS.
Yeah.
But then she sent me a picture of like her arm that got fat. And I found out like later researching that it's like a small case of rhabdo. So I wrote like this full-on letter saying you didn't have rhabdo when she did have rhabdo, but that was a cool story. How like the Open, if it doesn't go so well, is it the end of the world?
Yes, it is.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Because I know a lot of people.
For a lot of people, I know.
They dedicate a
I
lot
know
of
a
time
lot of
and
people.
effort, yeah.
I know a lot of. I won't put any names out there, but he's bold. Yeah,
Is he sort of big as well?
He's big, fat, and old. He's putting a lot. He's trained. He's trained. Nah, but he'll make it. He's been training hard. But a lot of people do put a lot of pressure on themselves. But it's kind of sometimes you look at the small scheme of things when it's kind of like the Open's gonna happen every single year. The games, the regionals gonna come back every single year. It's not like the Olympics every 4 years. So it's not like if you don't make it, awesome. You get to train very hard for the next Open.
I think it comes with a bit of experience of doing the Open a few times as well.
Yeah.
I think the first time you're doing the Open, you're always like, oh yeah, I could be this or that. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, it's super competitive. And every year you do it, it gets harder and harder. The goalpost keeps on moving.
Yeah.
So you just got to be happy with little goals, beating your last year's placing or whatever, or doing better than you did last year. But to have the focus on the outcome of getting to regionals, and that's out of your hands, that's out of your control.
The
You
number of athletes
can't worry about
in like competitive athletes, top level athletes in New Zealand alone, let alone Australasia. It's just massive. Just in the last year, it's just all these awesome athletes popping up all over the place. You go to different local comps, and you're just so impressed with the caliber of athletes, both women and female, women and males. Who come?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Men and female.
Yeah.
Men and women. It's just incredible. It's just really awesome to see that it's growing, and just it really is picking out the real fit people and making them better, and it's pretty good.
I've sort of gone along the path of my individual dream is over, and trying to go down the affiliate sort of team comp thing, because I feel like I could be a good team member in that. It's pretty hard pill to swallow, sorry. But, you know, like you were saying, every year there's getting better guys and like better athletes every year and all that. So still going to keep competing, but probably go more for the team thing, because I'm only good for a few minutes as well. And you don't have to do like sort of parts of a workout. And I feel like I could do some good output on that.
You know, you can't forget that, like, I think talent and pure genetic potential only takes you so far, especially with CrossFit. I think if you're genetically gifted, it'll take you to a certain point, and then after that point, it's just hard work. You're not going to get any more. Your potential is not going to back you up. It's your work ethic that's going to back you up. So maybe you just don't work hard enough.
Do you think I have the genetics to do it?
You don't have the genetics. Maybe you could have the.
What are you trying to say then?
Maybe you have the work ethic.
Huh?
Maybe
but I don't have the genetics.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
So you just got to work harder than everyone else that has the genetics.
So I've got no hope at all.
No, you do. You just got to work.
Work harder.
Work hard.
So we all coach and help people in that. Like, I had a lady come in today, bit of PT, and like to try to talk about goals, because I feel like that's the way to get them, like when they don't want to get up or come in, that's how they can motivate them, you know, to get up and come in and train and stuff like that. But she had no goals, and I was trying to fish around to get some goals in that. What would you guys recommend? Like maybe sort of pushing on the goals, or how would you get someone to?
You can't push it on them.
Oh, like how would you get them to?
Open up.
So I guess I would go
Like, to get them to have a goal. Get them to have a goal.
So why did they call you for a PT session? Would be where I'd start.
I'm not just talking about PT, just people
But
in general.
or for turning up, like they turned up for some reason.
Yeah.
Whether that be, you know, it can be anything. Like I mean, it took me 4.5 years to get my mum to go to the gym, and I asked her pretty much every week to come and train, and in the end I bought her a membership, and she trained for a year. And she's still willing to train, but she's never been in the gym before, and she sort of just found little things, like she would come home and would be like, oh, I ran 200 meters, and then the next point she wanted to run 300 meters and 400 meters. And so I think once you can get someone started, they will start to sort of make their own goals out of things. You can guide them through things, but people need to be able to do that themselves, I think. Otherwise it doesn't mean as much to them.
So just sort of get them started.
Yeah, I think if you can get someone started and hold on
And
to them for a little
along the way.
bit, they'll find goals if you guide them.
Build their confidence with it.
Just build them along the way and see how it goes, sort of thing.
Support them.
Because there'll always be those people that really do want the regimented goals, and you can sit down with them and plan them out, but that's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to have that. So I think you have to figure out ways that you can still get them to achieve things, and when positive aspects start to happen, then it's more likely that they're going to stay and stick to it because they're getting something positive out of it.
I know you guys have been like all members and so coaches as well. What's some good things for affiliate owners that to help retain or look after their members, do you reckon? Like from your own experiences as a athlete yourself and as a coach, what's some good things you reckon?
My one-liner is Greg Glassman's: do the right things for the right people at the right time. You know? Like if your heart's in the right place and you're doing the right things, you know, that's all you need to do. You know, he always was with CrossFit focus on the product you're trying to deliver to them and deliver an amazing product and look after them. You know, as long as you're doing that and your heart's in the right place, you're doing the right thing.
Do you think like some people that are opening up now, their heart's in the wrong spot, or they're pretty good, or?
I think everyone starts out with the right intentions.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really goes out to be malicious about it. Or, you know, you're going into a profession that's dealing with people, so you've got to have some intention to be nice. Hopefully. Yeah.
From being like a member myself.
Like that.
And then a coach, my biggest thing is genuinely caring about someone and their improvements. You have to like. I always make it a task for me to know someone on a personal level, not just sort of someone that comes to the box and throws down at 5 o'clock after work every single day. I kind of like get to know them on a personal level and make them. My whole goal of a class when I coach is to make them feel comfortable and make them, because I think it's a Kiwi thing. They generally have their walls up and stuff. I grew up in Samoa, so it's not.
You don't really open up.
Yeah. So I think breaking down those barriers and getting them to feel comfortable not only with themselves in the class but with everyone else.
Yeah.
And then that when they feel comfortable, it kind of like gives it more of a community feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike is naturally funny, so it helps him with that.
Yeah.
Breaks the ice. It's funny, crack some jokes, and then
I'm a terrible coach. I just crack jokes at everyone.
You did some work in NorCal with Jason Kalipa and all that.
Yeah, I went over.
How was that?
That was. I learned more in that sort of 5-6 weeks than I did in the whole time I was coaching in CrossFit. Yeah, it was awesome. They have a very, very high standard of coaching there, so I had to sharpen up really fast. And they don't criticize, but they give constructive criticism, and you have to be able to accept that constructive criticism and grow upon that criticism. So I
heard it's quite harsh. Is that right?
Not really harsh, but it's kind of like, this is the standard. If you don't meet it, you need to improve yourself. If you can't improve yourself, then sorry, buddy.
Did you cry?
No, I improved myself. I did. Now, well, Pat Barber, one of the head coaches, he's and Tamron Barber, they're both sort of my first coaches in CrossFit. So and they're sort of my mentors and that sort of stuff. And he got me up to speed, and they live about 45 minutes away from San Jose, the gym that they coach at. So after the evening classes, it'll be a 45-minute lecture for back to the house, telling me what I needed to improve and what I needed, tell me what I did right and what I did good. So after a week, those conversations became shorter and shorter. So it was good. Yeah.
Did you ever be like fight back, like, no, man, I did this right or whatever?
Every now and again, I'd be like, well, I generally
have your rebuttal.
Yeah, I grew up. My grandma raised me, and if I rebut against my grandma, I get a hiding. So I generally take criticism on the chin and sort of improve myself from there. Yeah. But it's really good. I recommend if anyone has the opportunity to sort of go over there, and even if it's just sit in and watch them and be part of the class and see how they coach, it's awesome. They have such a high standard. It's really good.
Yeah. All right. And Kalipa, you say he works harder than anybody else?
Yeah, he's an awesome CrossFitter. Yeah. But he's an even better business person, and I don't understand how he can achieve the things that he's achieved as a CrossFitter with the amount of effort he puts into his gym. Yeah. This guy is 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Every single day. Yeah, it's incredible.
Just the last question sort of thing is like talking about the Greg Glassman trying to excellence, give your members everything. Not everything, but be real with them and look after them as best you can and that. Like, I love doing that. Sometimes I find it draining. Do you guys feel like that sometimes? Just being present with everyone all the time and everyone wants your attention. Like, I know I love it, but just sometimes. A lot of concentration. Yeah. How do you guys deal with that? Like, cause
I know where I'm coaching, we make sure that we don't take more than 2 classes in a row. Yeah. Because as soon as you do more than 2, it's really hard to stay on that level, and that's a lot of people come to you to get motivation. They don't have it there. It's hard for us to understand that because most of us walk into the gym with at least a bit of motivation. Yeah. So I think that that's working really well for me, is having that at least one class where I can just kind of chill on the couch and get it back. Yeah. If I was coaching all day every day, it'd drop off real fast.
Do you find when you're on the couch, someone will come up to you hey, how you doing?
Sometimes.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It never ends. And
you're
it never ends.
But then that's a little bit.
It never ends.
I'm not coaching. Fuck off.
Max is good at handling this. He just comes upstairs. Do you know what I mean?
But people do. But I mean, that's a little bit different. Having a personal conversation versus trying to control the attention of everyone in the class is 2 different things. Yeah. I don't mean it's fine if someone wants to have a chat. Yeah. But I probably couldn't coach more than 2 classes in a row. I just kind of lose the plot a bit.
I think you got to have a bit of self-awareness with that as well, and know when you're kind of going down, and whoever you're with, let them know, and you can, leave or not coach for the night, or get someone to cover you, or whatever, so you don't have to inflict that on the rest of the class. Because
you time.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta take some time out for yourself.
Yeah.
Just straight up pre-workout before every coaching class. Just snort it as well, man. Snort that shit.
Whatever you're gonna do. Let's go, guys.
All right, guys, no warm up. Straight into it.
EMOM burpees and warm up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. All right. Any last things, thank yous, or anything you'd like to finish on?
No, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for
thanks
the
for having
opportunity.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I always like having a yarn and hanging out with cool cats.
Awesome, man.
All right. Appreciate your time. That is us tapping out. Bam.